Hello, friends. On this concluding day of what has been a very, very successful series of sessions with the Jaipur Bookmark, I'd like to thank Manisha for carrying us through. I only wish that Dr. Balakrishnan and Dr. T.S. Saravanan had been there in one of the earlier days to a full house. However, I'm very grateful that after a tour of many cities, they've managed just this morning to get in here, and we do hope we will have more deep and meaningful associations with them in the future. Now, the session, Indus to Vaigai, Journey of a Civilization by Dr. R. Balakrishnan is a publishing milestone for the conviction that underpins it, the depth of the research, and the vast cultural footprint that it traverses. The book opens with an apt epigram from the Spanish poet and essayist. I was struck. You see, he is a linguist. So because he is a linguist, the roots of language always come forward there. And he quoted from Juan Goito Sole, if I'm pronouncing it right. He says, "A man is not a tree. He has no roots. He has feet. He walks." And decades ago, in a seminar in Cambridge, I heard Salman Rushdie say these very same words. He said, in a pithier way, sharper tone, "Trees have roots, men have boots." I'm not sure if I agree, because I think men have boots also, and men have roots also. Those roots are as important as the boots. And if trees have roots, they also have flowers and pollination, and they spread their seeds across the world. So this important book tracks civilizational and human journeys, the movement of words and ideas, of material and intellectual cultures across a vast span of territory. My first reading of this massive and magnificent volume, may we see it? Do we have a copy here? Well, it is a book to be seen. It doesn't do justice to my reading of it, because I have read it only inadequately in a first read. It needs 3 or 4 reads to understand it. But I'd like to share my responses. The announcement as recently as 1924 of the discovery of the Indus Valley civilization gave us a new perception of India's prehistory. The language of the Indus Valley remains unknown, although AI and computational linguistics may make this possible in the coming years to decrypt the enigma of that script. To quote from the author's note, this book investigates the connections between 2 riddles, Indus authorship and the Tamil origins. It seeks to present an argument that, notwithstanding the spatial temporal gaps, the point at which Indus civilization ends is a very important idea, and the point from which the extant Sangam texts commence are probably the one and the same. This book argues that these riddles are 2 sides of the same coin, and that understanding the prehistory of India cannot be complete without recognizing this connection. His thesis follows the argument that the Indus script and culture, which has commonalities with Dravidian culture, followed the decline of the Indus Valley civilization, possibly around 1900 BCE, when there was a southward migration. He points to cultural continuities, including the significance of red pottery, the use of bronze, some recurring motifs. It's a book of ideas, and let us see how they unfold with the transcription through AI, which is bound to happen in the coming years. I would like to thank Dr. R. Balakrishnan, Dr. T.S. Saravanan, and of course, Mini Krishnan, who has always been a friend of this festival, for being here today. I would also like to acknowledge the remarkable work being done by the Tamil Nadu Textbook and Educational Services Corporation, the publishing wing of the government of Tamil Nadu, in creating literary infrastructure and a bridging ecosystem around words and books, connecting languages, literatures, cultures, and continents. I was just hearing about this wonderful prize that they have just announced, which I'm sure they will tell you about in the course of things. So thank you. Please may we welcome you to the stage.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to all.
I convey my sincere thanks to Namita Gokhale madam for introducing us. It's a great privilege to part of Jaipur Bookmark. As a Jaipur Literary Festival is one of the important book fair in the world, literary festival in the world. As Tamil Nadu Textbook and Education Service Corporation is participating in all the world book fairs, thanks to our government initiative. And with the guidance of Mini Krishnan madam, we are working for the past 10 years. We have brought out more than 100 books in Indian languages and English, with collaborating with all leading publishers. One of the monumental work is Balakrishnan's Journey of Civilization, that is Indus to Vaigai. Very popular book. It is the best seller also. Here the tag says where books mean business. Okay, it is one of the best seller, even not only in India, even in US also it is a best seller. Because it created a research work, created so much interest. Our Honorable CM of Tamil Nadu, Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, has announced $1 million for those who bring out the solution for the riddle of Indus Valley script. Okay, that created the interest. I start with that $1 million question. How do I get $1 million, sir?
Thanks a lot, Namita Gokhale, for an excellent introduction to us. Happy to meet all of you here. Before getting into the $1 million question, I am slightly feeling nostalgic about being in Rajasthan. I had been here a couple of times in different reasons. As a civil servant, I have come here to conduct elections, to supervise election from Election Commission of India. Other visits have been associated with my studies. Once to Jaisalmer and Bikaner in search of a question that whether camel will eat bone. I was searching that question about 30 years and found an answer for it. And another time I came to Ocean, I think probably it's near Jodhpur, I think. There I was searching some riddle from Odisha. I was traveling forth and two Ocean, one Ocean located in Odisha, another located in Rajasthan. I made a 3 trip to investigate. Now that, thank you very much with that nostalgia. And Saravanan asked that $1 million question. It's an excellent phrase in English. It's something which is very difficult to answer. People say that $1 million question. Tamil Nadu government has announced that anybody successfully deciphering, in a convincingly deciphering Indus Valley script would be receiving. The prize money in Indian rupee is going up because dollar rate is going up. When it was announced, it was 8 crore rupees. Now it's nearly 9 crore rupees. So then we thought in the Indus Research Centre in Chennai, which I am heading in a honorary position, and Sundar Ganesh and others, they recently brought out, because a lot of people were asking a question. Recently we brought out Understanding the Script of Indus Valley Civilization, easy to read, coffee table type, very explaining the basic nuances, how to read the script. And then we are very happy to see that a lot of youngsters, one guy came from UP, all in 19 years, absolutely spellbound with this kind of analogy. So it's a lot of people now working in US also. We are looking forward for a solution. And coming back to that, the journey of civilization is what it's all about. The journey of civilization is about, as he pointed out, that we are all migrants. We keep traveling. And then rootedness is something which, depending on what you want to try to say, this book bring to the table an ideology which is say that India, looking at India as a rainforest pluralism. India is a plural country, everybody knows. Whether that plural, easily people say that it's a melting pot. And then some people say it's like in US salad bowl. So salad bowl pluralism. I am putting forth the rainforest pluralism. The whole book is weaving that the pluralism, which is basically rainforest in nature.
I would like to know the difference between the melting pot and the salad bowl and rainforest.
Melting pot is almost like a cliche, often very much used. So that then I was looking at the melting pot as a, what you call a smeltering, what you call a process where a lot of metals are, various metals are put, an alloy is created. It's an alloy making process. So when you put so many metals and then create a new alloy, some metal is going to claim a new identity. In the process, many existing old celebratable identities are lost. So in the alloy making process, the identities are lost. But India is not a story of alloy making process. because I worked in Odisha for 40 years, Odisha and Delhi, worked among the tribals in Odisha, 62 different type of tribal, belonging to different linguistic family, Austro-Asiatic, Dravidian and Indo-Aryan, learned the tribal language and lived with them. So I realized that they are not a metal who lost their identity in a life. In US, when I read and also when I visit, people nowadays talk about a salad bowl pluralism. So salad bowl where Americans would like to say that whatever your origin, whether it's you are from Spanish, German, or from Africa, or from UK, you are a part of what is the identity of America, you are part of the salad bowl. I am disagreed with that also because it's a post-harvest process. Salad bowl, I have not seen that eggplant ever made it to salad bowl. There is a selection process. You have to be an elite vegetable to find a place in the breakfast table. And then I preferred a rainforest, because rainforest talks about the coexistence, inclusiveness at its height. From the forest floor, fungi, small butterflies, to the monkeys and the tigers, and then in the tree growing, and there is a underfloor, there is a canopy, which is called roof of the rainforest. There is something called overshoot, which few climbing up above the canopy level. So put together, the rainforest represent India, and India represent the rainforest. So I choose to call this a rainforest pluralism.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Actually, there is a curious question by the students. I am a principal of a civil service college. Whenever the students going to attend the UPSC interview, they are asking a peculiar question to the Tamil Nadu students. Why Tamil Nadu is so much interested in Indus Valley civilization? When all other states are there, you are erecting a statue for John Marshall at your Tamil Nadu museum. In what way Tamil Nadu is connected with the Indus Valley civilization?
That's a question. Not only his students asked him, probably you also maybe wanting to ask and probably wanting to know the answer. Because in today's world, if some place the name John Marshall is pronounced, John Marshall used often in conversation, that is Tamil Nadu. Okay, if some place, just about a week back we had a festival, you all know that, Pongal. Magar Sankranti type, in different names in India it's Bihu, and then in Tamil Nadu it's called Pongal. People put a kolam, Rangoli type of thing. Some people put Indus script and John Marshall picture in front of their house. Can you imagine? They call it Indus Pongal. So this is the ordinary housewife and men and women, that kind of creation. Keeladi Museum, a newly created Keeladi and Porunai Museum near Madurai, near Tinaveli. A lot of archaeological materials come out about the before Christ, that's a prehistoric times, and as well as also first millennium BC. And people often talk about the Indus Valley. Indus Valley discussion has become a household in Tamil Nadu, not without reason. Because this book I handle two riddles. At some point of time in 4500 BC, say that 4th millennium BC or 3rd millennium BC, in some place in the world which is highest GDP, and a town which is comparable with the Manhattan of today's world, with the proper drainages, garbage bin, and there is no palace for the king, there is no burial thing like a pyramid, and there is no temple, and then people were having a great civic life with a brick, burnt brick, millions of brick. So then suddenly we are coming to know that where they all went, what happened to them. Suddenly when you wake up in the Indian history, you come across Maurya, Gupta, then all kind of prehistoric times. Then there is a Vedic literature, you find a lot of conflict. This celebrates urban civilization. There's nothing much urban about it in Vedic. It goes for the external trade with the Mesopotamia. Then seafaring is not the part of the Vedic cup of tea. Like that, there's a lot of things. Women are given important. Mother goddess given important in Indus, but then hardly any women as a goddess in the earlier Vedic thing. So all put together, people were asking what happened to them. It's the highest density populated people. Some people say 5 million, some people say 3 million. What happened to them? They could not have vanished in thin air. First question. Second, the same Indian subcontinent, somewhere in the south, there are guys who call themselves Tamils or Dravidians and all. They are all the time engaged about one collective question. The question is hanging around their neck. They keep asking, who are we? And they talk about the lost mountains, the lost rivers, and Tamil academies. They are always talking about the past and lost. So these two riddles I try to pursue in my life. I spent about nearly more than 35 years constantly working on that. So I match these two riddles. That's what very important. That's the reason Tamils are over-engaged and properly, rightly engaged with that, and with a lot of open mind, I suppose.
Yes, sir. Sir, you have touched one important area of Indus riddle. This decipher method is one way. Non-decipher method, in that particularly place name studies. In what way it is new to the history audience or book readers? Can you throw some light on that, sir?
All of you say that I am a career civil servant. I work, almost my job was taking almost, we work not for a calendar or a time. Sometimes our day ends with night 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 11:30, election, flood in Odisha, cyclone in Odisha. I was a finance secretary writing budget. I have a multiple job. So I have to do this research after coming home midnight or the Saturday, Sunday, foregoing all holidays like that. So I was wearing two hats. I was convinced that if I follow a decipherment method, even after spending 30, 40 years, somebody is going to disagree with me. Unless you find a Rosetta Stone type bilingual script, nobody is going to get convinced. Somebody spent 30 years, he reads, and this is what I read Tamil in it, or Dravidian in it. Somebody is going to say, I read name Agastya in it. I saw Saraswati in it. So you do not know how you are saying, he is going to say how you are saying. None of them have answer. So I didn't want my work after 40 years or 30 years end up like that. So I decided to follow something called non-decipherment route. Instead of trying to study the language, I decided to study the body language. The body language of a people, body language of culture, body language of the society, its economy, its priorities. So I decided to identify what are the undeniable identities and the social priorities of Indus Valley. So I created a chart. Then I matched that with the priorities and the stated, articulated position in the Vedic civilization, which is well pronounced later on in the Gangetic civilization in the North India. Then I took the earliest extant Sangamtic literature, which is again written 2,400 years back, and which could not have overnight came. A lot of bardic tradition, oral tradition. I put that three-way markers. So I started comparing. So he was asking about place name studies. You must be knowing that the studying name is called onomastics. And if you study the place name, it's called toponymy. If you study the name of the people, anthroponymy. Like that, if you study the name of the hills, it's a oronymy. Study the water bodies, is a hydronymy. So then, in the Western world, particularly Canada, in US, other places, it's a very well-grown size. India's got a limitation. I took certain names. I told myself, I put a litmus test for my people. I will select X number of names which are Greek and Latin for a person living in North India or the Sanskrit scholar. He should not have heard. He cannot identify. The same name, a Tamil fellow, if he listens to that, he should have a goosebump. That means he should identify himself. Nothing in common. So I selected that set of name. Then I have a faith that the place name outlive the languages, outlive the cultures, outlive the civilization. I have seen the names are frozen. It's like a fossilized linguistic evidence. For example, I will tell you, when the Parsi people moved from Persia, from Iran to India, Navsari and other places, what they carried was their place names. They replanted in Gujarat as their place name, Tata, Nariman, all this is a Parsi name, it's a village name in Iran. The Africans took the name when they went to America, the same name were planted. So I carried historical studies and found that name is frozen. Whether meaning is understood or not, it's an archaic material. It's a fossilized material. So I searched for, I built over a period of time a huge database. I have been working when the computer came to India from late 80s onwards. Every new software I tried to understand. And then I created a new database and found very peculiarly names attested in Sangam text as a name of a place, name of the hill, name of the river, name of the chieftain, name of the king. I matched and found them in the present day Balochistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and the northwestern India, matching exactly. He may not understand the meaning, nor they will, because I am not doing the job of an etymologist who will try to give you a compulsory meaning for it. But I used a computer methods, algorithms, and found a matching. It was phenomenal, and it was unbelievable, the coordination. And also not only that, it's not that it is found there, it is found there. Then I established the route which goes through Gujarat and Maharashtra, the entire South India. I created name corridor, and I put a lot of maps in my book. It's a 3.5 kilo weight, 647 page. Over a period of 35 years, I did that. And I'm so happy. I feel very satisfied about it.
Sir, one word commonly we have introduced in textbook also now, KVT complex, Korkai Vanji Tondi complex, that is referring to the Sangam period cities. In what way it is connected with the complex of Indus Valley civilization?
See, I consider Indus economy driven by trade, actually. It's basically agrarian, agriculture, and then some kind of pastoralism and cattle. Cattle agriculture formed the core. And then they were doing a lot of value addition. Value addition for the ornaments, like India, even now, one of our main export is ornament. Lapis lazuli, they go and hunt for it in Sartugai in Afghanistan. So they do the value addition, send it to Sumeria. So there was some melting pot moment, climatic reason, trade fell. So there is a fall of the Indus civilization. This KVT complex, what I call Korkai Vanji Tundi complex, I found in 2002 when I was working in Delhi. I waited for 8 years to validate. I announced in Coimbatore classical conference 2010. Then world came to know about the KVT complex. K stands for Korkai, V stands for Vanji, and T stands for Tundi. All three are the three different Chera, Chola, Pandya. And then Korkai is a port town. That same name still exists. And about a month back, CM inaugurated a nearby Brunei museum. I've been to that place. There is a Vanni tree, like our Kejiri tree, Korkai. Vanji is often mentioned in the part of the Chera, and Tundi is in the thing. It's in Chera place. So all these places, it's like important, economic important. And the Indus Valley civilization, I feel, Harappan, Mohenjo-daro, 600 kilometers away from each other. Lothal, so far away. So then Karachi port, and then they were doing a trade with the thing. So the twin capital concept was very much existing in the Indus civilization. There's a uniform seal, writing system and all, but some economic, like Mumbai is economic capital, Delhi is a political capital, probably Karachi, that side, Lothal, and then the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa far away from the sea. So like the twin capital concept we are finding in Sangam text, Madurai is a political capital and language capital, Korkai is the economic capital, port. So this Korkai Vanji Tundi, if I tell somebody in the Sanskrit or historian in North India, he would not have heard about it unless he is familiar with the Sangam text and Tamil history. It's not Mathura. I am from a place called Madurai in Tamil Nadu, but I did not put this in the KVT. I was worried that if I prove that Mathirai is there in Sangam, in Tamil, rock engraved in rocks, and also found in Indus, somebody may quote the Mathura of Krishna in UP. So then Kanchi, I didn't take Kanchi from Kanchi because Nagare is a Kanchi. There is a Sanskrit slogan. So that Kanchi people may say that it could be that. I didn't take Dwaraka, Tuvarai, but I took which is something unknown to the Sanskrit. It's a Greek and Latin. So I proved that, and then whatever that, I am not isolated name, suppose it tallies. Suppose say Salem, there is a place in Tamil Nadu. There is another Salem in US. I cannot say that this Salem and that Salem people went and created, or Jerusalem is something has got with the Salem. But if the same Salem in US, if it comes with the Coimbatore, Pollachi, Karur, Erode, something like that, 40, 50 places surrounding, then I will make an argument. There is something behind this particular mass transfer of name. That is the reason I decided to do only cluster, not independent individual name. It could be accidental. I wanted to avoid the possibility of etymological trap and an accidental same kind of pronunciation or the spelling. That I wanted. So I created a what you call a corpus, created a complex, I match that complex with this complex. So I call it a KVT complex. It's a cluster approach which I followed and statistically provable. I used a statistical method and scientifically established. My book is on stand from 2019. I think all my proceeds going to the library to which I am a trustee and the Roja Muthiah Research Library, Indus Valley. And nearly about 1 crore 40 lakhs worth of books have been sold. My family has given, I have given my children, all decided that we will give to that library. So then, and in America also the book is very, all over the world it is gone. I am very happy there is no refutal in an organized way. All the leading Cambridge review has been there. Many Harappa.com has reviewed it. So far, I have done that critique part. I waited for many years, questioned myself. I was putting myself in the witness box. Unless I convinced, I have not written a single page which I cannot defend.
Thank you, sir. Sir, another question, that is, you are the suitable person to answer. You are both a civil servant and a supporter of multilingualism. And generally, again, I have to do justice to my students at my college. And one question faced by the Tamil Nadu students in UPSC exam when they are attending the interview, North Indian senior civil servants asking whether Tamils are language chauvinists. Why you are so much spending on language, conducting the Chennai International Book Fair, when the central government is there, recently conducted by, we invited 103 countries and the Chennai International Book Fair, you are giving awards to the other language people. Why you are spending so much on language and creating museums? Even the budget of Tamil Nadu for the archaeology department is higher than that of Indian budget. So these are very particularly asked.
Yeah, it's a right question, but it's a very grossly misunderstood concept. I will start from what the ideology in Sangam text. There is one Kaniyan Pungundunar, a poet makes a statement, Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir. If I have to translate that, all the places are our place. All the people are our kin and kith and kin. That means it's about 2,400 years, no exclusivism. Inclusive. Then another poet, women poet, talks about Yatisai Chelinum Atisai Chore. Your food is there whichever direction you travel. Then another statement says that the world is big. And world is big is a concept. We are talking about a global citizen, global all kind of thing. This is putting in that across. So Tamil was basically, they were the seafaring and they had a grievance. Number two, why they are investing that much in the identity and the book, and rightly so. Take for example, you will be very happy now because you are in the literary festival and all. Recently, the Academy, Sahitya Academy, was to announce the people who got the award. Just an hour or two before going to the press conference, they got a message to stop it. So then the announcement was not made. We were all waiting who is going to receive the award. So then a lot of petitions have been given. It's unfair, autonomy and all. Now Tamil Nadu government, the day before yesterday, I think yesterday or day before, has made an announcement. They will give award for 5 lakh each, not the 2 lakh. 5 lakh each to the 7 language at the national level. Tamil, Kannadam, Telugu, Malayalam, Odia, Bengali, because these are declared as a classical language and living language. So Tamil Nadu is putting money for the Bengali and Assami writer. Speak for myself. I have a peculiar background. I am the first person from the faculty of Tamil literature to ever make an attempt on IAS and made it in the very first attempt in 1984. I am a BA Tamil literature, MA Tamil literature, decided not to study anything after that. I could have done a study in Berkeley University, I had an invite. Kyoto, I could have done a study. London School of Economics, I have done 9 budgets. I do all technical job, equip myself, read newly, but I refuse to take a degree in any other subject because I wanted to be known as a Tamil student did all this thing. And I want to tell you with humble, I would like to say that I have traveled in this vast great nation as the 2009 Excel seat, except 15 districts in India. Except 15 districts in India, I set my foot in all the districts, all the state, all the union territory. I don't think any other civil servant in his career has gone to this many districts. And the last book before leaving Odisha in 2024 as a chief advisor to the chief minister, and the last book I conceptualized, Journey of a Language, a bilingual book on Odia and Tamil. I have never ever differentiated. Every mother is a good, Every mother is great. Every mother tongue is great. So that way, because then investing in own identity, language, celebrating does not mean that he will get a fanatic about it. Because for that matter, we are investing, we are not investing less. Something around 1,200 crore is being invested for Sanskrit. So no one question. So because Tamil Nadu being, you have to understand, it's a state in Indian Union. But announcing prize money, which is more than the national thing and all, for Bengali, Odia, Kannada and all, we are basically right now what Tamil Nadu, I am telling you, I have done, because I am so happy about my life, I am far well known, and people are recognize me when I walk and all. The thing is that we are now, by writing this book, by putting a statue for John Marshall, by announcing $1 million will be given if the Indus. Nobody is saying that you have to read and tell it's a Tamil. Nobody is telling that you have to read and tell it's a Dravidian. And you have to convince the world people and then the scholars and anybody take it. So all this being done, Kiladi Museum, everything, probably I have a feeling a civilizational climb is being made. I'm telling you, civilization is a much malign word. People sometimes make a statement that a few days back, we had in Chennai, just day before yesterday, Mr. Devi, Ganesh Devi, he made a statement. He was also making comment about what is called civilization. Civilization is a little much loaded word. We say, we have come to civilize you. You are becoming civilized. It's uncivilized. It's a kind of derogatory, it can be used, depending on what sense you are using. I use this in a very positive sense. This particular, when you make a civilizational climb, you are, because I'm telling you, by making this kind of statement, I'm also creating a lot of enmities among the Tamil fanatics. Some people would love to say that I am 4 lakh year old, 3 lakh year old, I am born in this present Tamil Nadu only, I grown like that, like a tree. But I am telling that we migrant also. There is nothing wrong in moving. We are mobile. That means those who stayed back in a single place, they are still in caves. But only people who moved created city civilization. That way, this particular, what I consider all this thing happening in Tamil Nadu, book publication, you are taking initiative for the International Book Fair, Tamil books are being translated in different languages, museums are being opened, all these things are happening. I consider as a part of a narrative which Tamil Nadu is trying to put it. It is making a civilizational climb. The Tamil Sangam literature is not the literature of a Tamil, it's a literature written in Tamil. It's not a literature of this present Tamil Nadu or a district or a particular community or a particular caste. It's a literature of the subcontinent. It's a literature of a subcontinental experience. You'd be happy to say that why I did not do my PhD. As a Tamil student, I started chasing a question. I asked a question to my teacher. I was not encouraged. My question was that how Sangam literature says that a camel which is carrying the mercantile, that means the material used by traders, it is used as a beast of burden, like how the cow is used, bullock is used. So it is carrying the mercantile, and then on the way it's feeling so hungry, it started eating the bones of the perished animal. Then the question is that how Tamil Nadu, the entire South India, there is no camel and there is no desert and it will not carry the mercantile material. And then will it eat? It's a vegetarian. According to me, it's a vegetarian. I believed it. So how it will eat bone? I started chasing this question. Nobody answered me. I decided not to further study. I decided to go to IAS. I traveled, came to Jaisalmer, got an answer from Pakistan University also, got an answer from Bikaner. Finally, camel will eat bone, because it's a deficiency thing. And the only literature, the entire India, which is making, registering and documenting so authentically, only Sangam text. And the only literature in India which is saying that yak, which is living in the upper reaches of the Himalaya, will search for a particular grass which is very aromatic. In Tibet and China, even now today you will find aromatic tea of yak. And then the only literature which talks about, I went to Tibetan Research Centre in Delhi. I spoke to people. I have conducted lectures in Ladakh. I met the yak rearers. Here I met the camel people. I spent time with them. And all these things. And then there is a wild horse which is leg bitten by a baby shark. The only place where a domesticated wild horse leg can be bitten by a baby shark is Rann of Kutch. Nowhere else in South Asia. All these things, how Sangam literature know it? Then that is why I started chasing. It is not it's a literature written in Tamil. We are very happy about it, but it's not about present Tamil Nadu alone. It is the only literature which basically records the civilizational and subcontinental experience and the collective past. And without reading that, the pre-story making, the historicity will not take a complete. No bravdos, no claim of any superior, inferior. These are all very, very rudiment people do it. The very people who understood the human nature will talk about rainforest only, not big or small.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now we can open the floor for the questions.
Sir, I read Tamil is the oldest language in the world. Any comments?
I think I am also seeing in YouTube often. But I would confidently make a statement. Tamil is one of the ancient languages. But where the distinction comes, because there could be a very human being when they started speaking, they will continue to speak. The languages are old. I don't think that the Eskimo language, no other language in the world has got more than 30 words to explain different type of snow and ice. Because day and night they live with the ice. That's the richest language when it comes to the snow, is Eskimo language. That day every language to be celebrated, but the Tamil's beauty is that it's one of the ancient languages, very old, but it's still continuing. That means I can say the antiquity of the origin and the youthfulness of the continuity. That means when there is a computer age, it equips itself. We are now talking about a computing in Tamil. Then in the web, Wikipedia, we are the one of the dominant. The number of epigraphy, the inscription, Tamil is the maximum number. Number of the palm leaf, Tamil language has got a maximum. I am coming to the book reading. We are all talking about the printing age. When the printing, first South Asian language found to be printed is a Tamil, but is written in the Roman script, printed in Portuguese. Then when the printing press came, the first book to be printed in India, in Goa, is a Tamil book. Then it's a Trangabar, the printing press fame. It's a first 300 years, it's a documented, a British gentleman in the British Library is a documented, first 300 years, 40%, that means Indian languages book, published in South Asia, 40% of the books are Tamil books, first 300 years. So that means there is a continuous legacy, and that is what I consider. I will not say that oldest language in the world and all. Sometimes if somebody wants to prove that, you prove that, me. Rather than saying that, I would rather celebrate the existing and proven and validated. So that way, ancientness, one of the most ancient, but the classical. See, you see the difference. Suppose that Sanskrit, suppose that a classical language, great, lot of knowledge, and I really appreciate that. But then when it comes to the census, in 2011 census, some 11,500 or 12,000 people will claim that's my mother tongue. But then here is all over the world spoken, crores of people, millions of people, it's a living language. So that is the difference. So unless a language, suppose for example, English is a great language all over the world, but what is the age for it? What was its before Saxon in English and Shakespeare? So there's a limitation. So it's an ancientness and also it's being very young. And that is the reason actually when the Tamil book was printed, one minister made a statement that Akbar had not established his empire and Taj Mahal was not built.
Correct. Sir, I want to add one more point. As sir asked, the oldest living language, which is the oldest living language, if you ask the same question to ChatGPT, it will argue it is Tamil. Why it is Tamil? Okay.
You are absolutely right.
Oldest living language is Tamil. Okay.
Thank you so much for this insightful session, sir. I wanted to ask purely as a mother of a 10-month-old that how should Indology be introduced to children in school, whether it is as history, literature, philosophy, or a lived culture?
I consider, I really appreciate, that's what I am telling my granddaughter also. My granddaughter sings in excellent Odia songs. She came in during Corona period. She stayed with us in Odisha. She learned Odia. We are proud of that. But then the way to teach our children, probably considering that they are all their attention span is very less and they will be glued to the media and all. The content has to be for the next generation, content, format and content. What we teach, I would not revisit our mythology. Suppose in Europe, nobody talks about the Roman and the war of Troy, or those stories, and every country has. So we should not get back to teach our children the mythology as a history. History has to be verifiable. It is a verifiable, unless verifiable evidence. Like genetics is coming out with a huge evidence to prove that everybody's blood is flowing in everybody. India is such a country. The pluralism, it's an epic example. Genetics is proving that. So probably I would say evidence-based history could be a narrative, because people may wonder what we gain by learning the past or history. History is not only important, it is inescapable. History is important, history is inevitable, history is inescapable. Even if you want to escape from the history will follow you, because past has to be understood so that we chart our present in a proper way, so that we plan our future. Because that I have seen the country, anything can happen in any country, and anything can happen in any democracy. Anything. You would be a superpower. So now we see everyday we see anything can happen anytime. So keeping that in mind, our children probably they need to know what is the problem of the war, battlefield, the cruelty, past. Not to glorify past, but to learn the lessons from the past.
Okay. Thank you. Any more questions? Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening session. My question is, in your book, you've highlighted the civilizations through so many different lenses, and how, as a contemporary historian, or as the younger generation, what is the responsibility that we owe to adopting this, as in nurturing this legacy that we have, and to use your metaphor, to nurture that rainforest, and to ensure that we are preserving the history, and we're preserving the history in the right way.
I am a rank outsider to history, because you know that I am not a professional academician, I am not a historian, I am not an archaeologist, I am a career civil servant. But then from the archaeology to right now, there are many places where my book, they are holding the pot root chapter while digging. They are taking that as many archaeologists have told me, we are using your book extensively. I feel so happy. But then, so there is an advantage of not being a particular specific segment of knowledge. You have an open mind. I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to deny anything. I have a little bit open mind, and then my study in the process become transdisciplinary. The future, we are not only talking about a multidisciplinary, we are not talking about an interdisciplinary, we are talking about a transdisciplinary. The knowledge cannot be just shown through the one prism or one lens. It has to be multiple. So this is the first take. Second thing, the professional historian. Okay, are they taking me seriously? The question can be asked. So many places, initial time, I have gone to Indian Historical Congress, South Indian History Congress about 25 days back. I inaugurated and presided over. And now they start calling me also. I am speaking. Even 20 years back also, I addressed Place Name Society, Indian Historical Society. But many people would not know. I am basically an IAS officer. During lunchtime, they will ask that what you are doing and all. Many people, they were thinking that I am working in some college or university and all. I never put r.balakrishnan IAS in any of my book. Unless somebody knows and dig. Nowadays, social media, everybody is coming to know that you are a civil servant and dig and all. I never put it. I am a independent researcher. But then when you are a career academician, you will have a threat. You always go by the teacher, decibel, that format, and then what is the methodology, is a proven methodology. That means unusual questions you would be scared to ask, because a proven methodology is the order of the day. So proven methodology is always you will travel in the beaten track. In my book, every chapter is a new evidence. It's an unbeaten track, because I had nothing to lose. I had nothing to gain. I was getting promoted my place as a chief secretary, finance secretary, deputy election commissioner of India. My knowledge in Indology has nothing to do with that. So I had nothing to gain, nothing to lose. It gave me a freedom. But then I am so optimistic now. Forget about the people, history professors and HOD. The younger generation, today when I travel, in the airport, in the railway station, the people who attend my talk, the people who follow me in the YouTube, they are all youngsters. Most of them are engineers. Many of them are doctors. I'm so surprised that even engineer, how you took that? No, sir, your study is a transdisciplinary, multidisciplinary. People are even asking me, will I take 1 year leave and be your intern? I'm saying no. Don't take that kind of thing. You be there and be in touch with me to WhatsApp and all. At least I have 4 people after me just to attach themselves and help me, which I am now hard to tell them, take a leave and come. And now I can pay. So this is a scenario I am very optimistic. Younger generation is taking. And some people are saying that now younger generation has no serious thing. They are all the time seeing reels. They are seeing YouTube. They are in Insta. Okay, every time it will be like that. But I am more optimistic about the current generation than the past.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Only 1.5 minutes is there, so I want to conclude that. Before that, I want to add one more point to question raised by both the madams. So, giving importance to the SAR theory, that is rainforest theory, teaching the regional history is more important. So that's what Tamil Nadu Textbook Corporation is doing. Yes. It is a 50-year-old organization. So giving our standard demand is education, particularly school education, should be in the state list, so that we can educate our children more importance to the regional history. There where the rainforest concepts start.
That means whether you are approach a thing from the top to bottom or bottom to top, it's from the roots to roots and the aerial roots, and not the other way. So that the national history will be imposed on you. Whereas the people history, see, history is not about the chronology. Who was born, he killed whom, how many marriage he did, how many children, when he took the throne. That is a chronology. Very boring, I'll tell you. Very, very boring. Our history books only teach us that he is born there, he came there, he fought there was a war and all this thing. History is the real history, is the people's history. How they lived, what is the sociology, how is the economics, what they traded, how they lived, what was the women's occupation. Sangam text, when they say that she sells fish, she sells milk, she is keeping a shop, or close it after beyond midnight, she is wearing a thing, she is having an idea of buying a gold jewelry. 2,200-year-old poetry. She had an idea by selling milk and ghee, and then she wanted savings and wanted to buy a gold jewelry. Suddenly she changes her mind. Okay, household economy she will improve. Instead of buying jewelry, she purchases one cow and another buffalo, which will cow within 2 months. That means it's not no waiting gestation time. So that household economy. When I read about that lady, a washerwoman who's doing the starch, applying starch. So it gives me a huge life of socio-economic. We need to talk about the people's history, not the kings of come and go.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much,
interesting.
Saravanan, thank you.
Yes,
I enjoyed talking to you. Talking to Saravanan has always been great enjoyment. I want to give this book 2 copies. One copy for somebody who is going to rear the child with a teach. I would like to see this, which we have attempted to explain the Indus Valley script in a very easy to understand format. What is the initial? It's like
Madam, please come.
I would like to speak to you. The child is grown, please.